Hey guys, Zach here, coming at you with another video. Today we are going to be talking about Doctor Who, specifically the Edge of Reality, and we're going to be doing a lot of speculation, particularly when it comes to what monsters Maze Theory could bring to this game. They do mention there's going to be some new monsters and new worlds for us to explore and meet, so definitely stay tuned. We're definitely going to talk a lot about that. And at the very end of the video, I am so happy I got to do this. I got to talk to Catherine Tate, aka Donna Noble from Doctor Who. And I got to talk to her quite a bit. I was going to try to do an interview style thing, but it ended up not working out that way. It ended up being more of a conversation, but I did ask her about if she would ever be part of the Doctor Who video games done by Maze Theory. So definitely make sure to check that out at the very end of the video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, all the stuff down below if you enjoyed today's video. And without any further ado, let's get started with the video. So many monsters from the Doctor Who universe are very popular, and Maze Theory answered on their AMA video that they have a Whovian on the team who is kind of guiding them and telling them what monsters they should add. And I think this actually really does help, because obviously Whovians know the show inside and out. They know everything. They know which monsters are popular, which monsters are the recurring ones. So this is actually a pretty important detail that could guide us to figure out what monsters they could add. And of course, I'm also going to talk about monsters that I personally want to see, that monsters that I think should return just because I like them. So without any further ado, let's get into the list of monsters. I think there's two kind of, or maybe even three kind of obvious ones that I think could really fit in here. And one of them is obviously the Centaurans. Now, the Centaurans are well-known Doctor Who villains. They are up there with the Daleks and the Cybermen. So I think it'd be kind of, I don't want to say a no-brainer, but almost amazing to bring them back. Mostly because we haven't really seen them in a while. We haven't really seen or heard Centaurans since really Strax was a main popular character. You know, so I really hope that we get to see Centaurans again and have them be evil, not like Strax. I mean, Strax was a fun character, but I mean, the Centaurans that are, you know, evil and want war, like, you know, like, I don't know, they're just really fun characters overall, and I really hope that they bring them back, and I think that is kind of an obvious one. Another one that I think might be kind of an obvious one is maybe the Judoon. The Judoon are New Who villains, so it's not like they are rooted in tradition with Doctor Who, but they have become kind of a mainstay villain, introduced in Smith and Jones. They came back for the Stolen Earth. They came back again in Pandorica Open, so they've been around quite a bit, and they even returned again in Season 12. So they're pretty hot topics right now, especially because that episode, The Fugitive of the Judoon, the most recent episode, was probably the highest rated of the season for the most part because of the Judoon's return and Captain Jack's return. So I think the Judoon can play a role in this. Maybe they're actually assisting the Doctor. Maybe they're actually working with the Doctor or Doctors, whichever, you know. I don't know if they're both going to be together or if there's two separate adventures. I don't know. But either way, I think the Judoon would be pretty smart to bring back. We'll have to see on that one. Another one is the Ood. I think the Ood would be interesting to bring back. I feel like they probably won't, though, because I started to really think about this. I think it would be smart to bring the Ood back for a Time Lord Victorious theme thing, but they are doing a Time Lord Victorious theme thing for the Edge of Time, not the Edge of Reality. So maybe I can plug in here, if you're still playing the Edge of Time and you really like that game, maybe the Ood can be added via an update to that, because they are kind of part of the Time Lord Victorious. Like, they are very much part of Ten's regeneration, you know, segment there. You know, from the Waters of Mars and the End of Time. So definitely consider the Ood more so for the Edge of Time rather than the Edge of Reality, but they are pretty popular. And they haven't really been seen much since the 11th Doctor's days, now that I'm really thinking about it. But it's possible they can still return. The one I was hemming and hawing about is the Silence. And I don't know, because the Silence is really popular with the 11th Doctor era. And I'm just not sure if the Silence would come back. This is one that I've just struggled with when it comes to would they return. I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think? Do you guys think the Silence would return? Do you guys think that they are worthy to return? Just let me know in the description, or sorry, in the comments down below. I think they'd be a great foe to return, but the whole point is that you turn around and you forget about them, which I think would be hard to portray in a video game, so I don't know. What do you guys think? Alright, so that's it for the creatures that are mostly popular from the Whovians' point of view. So let's talk about my own personal wants and, you know, things that I think they should do. So let's start off with the Vashta-Nerada. The Vashta-Nerada are some of the coolest villains in all of Doctor Who. I absolutely love them. For those of you who do not know, they are piranhas of the air. They can strip away a person's flesh in mere seconds. So they are just really badass, to be honest. So I think it'd be cool to have them back, bring a really horror element to an episode. I don't know. That could be really, really cool. I don't know how they'd be implemented in, but I mean, anything could happen, anything works. They could even also do a different approach than Silence of the Library did, because Silence of the Library, what they did is they had the swarms taking over the spacesuits of the people who died. So I think it would be cool, wouldn't even make sense to not really do that route with it, but maybe make it to where they're literally just invisible. They're just in the shadows and you have to make sure to avoid the shadows. And I don't know, that could be really, really cool. Making sure to avoid every single shadow, maybe adding some elements in there, things that are creating shadows in front of you and you have to try and make sure to avoid those. I mean, maybe that would work if there's maybe another threat too. Like maybe there was a bigger threat and the Vashta-Nerada just happened to play into that, but I don't know, I think that could be really, really cool. Next up, the Flood. The Flood is something I was really uncertain if I would like to see come back in any format, because I think they handled it really well in the episode The Waters of Mars. But given that it looks like from one of the screenshots that we're going to Mars and we're seeing the Ice Warriors, I would kind of like to see almost like an origin story of the Flood. Maybe seeing how it originally started, because obviously the water was contaminated and the only reason that none of the crew were infected before is because they had filters that filtered out the water. So maybe we get to see what actually initially contaminates the water at first, or the first people, to have this issue. Or maybe they are the first people to have this issue, but the water was contaminated beforehand. I don't know. It would just be more interesting to figure out more about the Flood, because not much is really known about it besides the fact that it's from the polar ice caps that were, originally from the Ice Warriors. And since the Ice Warriors are in the game, I think it'd be cool to dive a little more into the Flood. I don't know. Maybe I'm just really hopeful on that one, but yeah, I think that'd be really cool. Alright, this one's very stupid. You guys are going to hate me for this, but the Slitheen, I'm sorry. I love the Slitheen. I love everything about them. I would love to see them return. I think it actually can really add a cool horror element to it. Now I'm thinking about it. I mean, any Doctor Who villain could add an element of horror, but most people view the Slitheen as a more comedic species, and I kind of do too, but I think they could almost change that with this, because we know that the Slitheen are very hunting based. They hunt you, they will search you, track you down, and I think it would maybe add some stealth elements to it almost, like where you have to hide and maybe move around so that they don't see you, and it can be very creepy if they do it right, I don't know, I think it'd be cool maybe to explore Raxacoricophalopatorius, or, just doing stuff like that. I don't know, that could be kind of cool. I kind of low-key hope that Slitheen come. I know they're not gonna, but I think it'd be cool. Alright, I think that's about it for the monsters I want to see, but of course we have the interview with the great Catherine Tate up next, so let's go right into the interview. Here you guys go. Alrighty.
Where are you calling from, Zach?
I'm in New York.
The greatest place on earth, certainly one of them.
Right, definitely.
And what do you do in New York?
I'm actually a student right now.
Oh, amazing. Are you from New York?
Wow, complicated question. Short answer, yes. Long answer, not exactly.
Okay. You're having a good time?
Oh, COVID season's a little bit, bleh. Other than that, just living.
Yeah. What year are you in?
This is my last year in university, so I'm finishing up, getting my degree.
Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah, kind of excited. How are you? It's an honor to meet you, the Miss Donna Noble. I'm so excited.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm fine. I'm good. We've all just got to get through it, don't we?
Yeah. It's a bit rough, but hey, we'll get there in the end.
We will. And what do you hope to do with your degree?
I'm going to become a teacher. So I'm going to, teach little ones.
Good for you. What a great thing to do.
Yeah, it's exciting enough,
Yeah. And where do you hope to do that?
I don't know. Well, actually, funny enough, I have family over in England, in the UK. So my degree can transfer over there and I continue education over there. So I'm thinking about going over there.
Oh, you'd be so popular. If you got into a class and they had an American teacher, you'd be the favorite teacher, hands down.
Oh, I'm honored to hear you say that.
Yeah, come on, go and say something to us, sir.
Almost sounded like Lauren Cooper there for a second.
Yeah, even if you were telling them off, they wouldn't mind, because it's like, oh, your accent's really nice.
Yeah. Well, I have one quick question before we end.
Go on, darling.
If you were to, if they're making Doctor Who video games and such, would you ever lend your voice to a Doctor Who video game if they ever came up to you and approached you, just like Big Finish?
Certainly would. Who wouldn't?
I know, because David Tennant's doing it, so I'm like, maybe, if he nudged you and was like, hey, you want to come back as Donna Noble for an adventure? I don't know, so I'd ask that.
Yeah, I would. I didn't know they did I didn't know they did video games.
Well, it's new. It's a new thing they're doing, and they're brought back David. They're bringing in Jodie. So yeah. So I thought I'd ask you if they ever asked you if you wanted to.
Yeah, put my name forward.
I will. Trust me. I'm in contact with them. They follow me on Twitter, so I might as well ask them.
Great. Tell them you can get me a very good price.
Oh, definitely.
All right, Zach, we're running down, but good luck with everything. Lovely to see you.
Thank you, Catherine. Lovely to meet you.
Good luck.
So yes, obviously her asking me a lot of questions, funny enough, but it was so cool nonetheless because I got to talk to her, and I know I seemed a bit nervous there because I was, but yeah, she was so awesome, so cool, and obviously the question I asked at the very end of that interview, I asked, would you ever take a part or voice Donna Noble in a Doctor Who video game if you were ever approached? And she said yes, like no question about it. And when she said that, I was like, alright. So hopefully May's Theory, hopefully one of the little DLC you guys do is a Donna Noble DLC. Just simply because she was absolutely awesome, and I really, it was so awesome to get to talk to her. She seemed like she genuinely cared, and it was supposed to be a 2-minute interview thing, but the person, our moderator, actually, it seems like they kind of extended it. They kept extending it, because it actually ended up being like 3 minutes. But yeah, it was such a good interview, such a good time. Catherine Tate was so sweet, as you guys saw, so amazing. I was fanboying out a bit, as you kind of saw in there. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was so much fun to interview Catherine Tate, and it was fun to talk about the monsters I'd love to see come to this game. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. All that stuff down below. Click the notification bell so you're notified of when I upload videos. And make sure to check out the merch store. There's some cool ZakPak swag up on there. And oh my god, I just said that. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed. And until next time, I'll see you in the next video.